The Japan relationship has been very, very good in many ways. If we look at the last year, and the LNG Canada is a very, very important historic event. Canada is the fifth largest producer of the natural gas.
We're intensifying defense and security cooperation, from information sharing to joint exercises in the Indo-Pacific, so that we can do more faster and protect our citizens.
Mark Carney didn't even wait a full day after landing in Japan. Within hours of touching down in Tokyo, the Canadian Prime Minister was already sitting face-to-face with Japan's leader, signing a strategic partnership that could reshape Canada's economic future. This deal isn't small. It covers energy cooperation, critical minerals, advanced technology, defense collaboration, and perhaps most importantly, access to new markets. And that matters because it changes something fundamental. For years, Canada's economy has depended heavily on the United States. That dependence gave Washington powerful leverage. But every time Carney signs a new partnership, first with India, then Australia, and now Japan, that leverage begins to fade. And that's exactly why this move in Tokyo is drawing so much attention. Japan was the final stop on Carney's Indo-Pacific trade tour, but it may turn out to be the most significant. Just hours after arriving, Carney and Japanese Prime Minister Sai Takichi announced a comprehensive strategic partnership designed to deepen cooperation across defense, energy, trade, and emerging technologies. Both governments immediately instructed their officials to begin identifying investment opportunities and expanding economic ties. Energy is a major focus, especially projects involving liquefied natural gas, along with deeper collaboration on critical minerals that power everything from electric vehicles to advanced electronics. The speed of events in Tokyo was striking. Almost immediately after landing, Carney was already announcing one of the most ambitious Canada-Japan agreements in years. At its core, the partnership focuses on four powerful pillars: defense cooperation, energy security, expanded trade, and cutting-edge technologies that will shape the global economy in the decades ahead. But beyond the headlines, the real significance of this deal goes even deeper. It signals that Canada is actively building new economic pathways across the Indo-Pacific, reducing its reliance on a single market and strengthening its position in an increasingly competitive global economy.
Canada and Japan are now bringing their economic strengths together in industries that will shape the future of global power. The partnership focuses on major sectors like liquefied natural gas, critical minerals, semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and next-generation clean energy technologies. These are not just ordinary industries anymore. They are the backbone of modern economies and the technologies that will drive global competition for decades. And Canada holds exactly what Japan needs to secure its long-term industrial future: reliable energy, massive reserves of rare earth minerals, and a stable democratic partner that can help build secure and resilient supply chains. That is why this agreement is far more than a diplomatic announcement. It is a practical economic partnership designed to strengthen both countries while protecting them from the growing uncertainty in the global economy. But the story does not stop there. This partnership also carries a major geopolitical message. Because the deal is not only about Canada and Japan, it is about leverage. For years, Donald Trump relied on tariffs and economic pressure to push Canada into making concessions. That strategy works only if Canada has limited options and depends heavily on the American market. But Mark Carney is working to change that reality. By building deeper ties with countries across the Indo-Pacific and beyond, China, India, Australia, Japan, the European Union, and even Gulf nations, Carney is creating a wide network of partnerships built around Canada's biggest strengths: energy, minerals, and advanced technology. And the bigger that network becomes, the stronger Canada's position grows. As these partnerships expand, Canada becomes less vulnerable to economic pressure from any single country. Tariffs lose their bite, threats lose their power, and Canada gains far more negotiating strength on the global stage. In simple terms, the more international deals Canada signs, the less leverage Washington has, and the more independent Canada becomes in shaping its own economic future.
When you really look at the global economy today, two things stand out above almost everything else: energy and critical minerals. And those are exactly the cards Canada holds in its hands. These resources give Canada real influence on the world stage. They are the foundation for building strong trade partnerships with countries beyond the United States, countries where Canada actually has a natural advantage. Whether it's Australia, Japan, or India, the conversation keeps coming back to the same priorities: critical minerals, energy security, and long-term economic cooperation. Those sectors are becoming the core of new international partnerships, and Canada is right at the center of them. In many ways, this strategy shows exactly what Prime Minister Mark Carney is trying to do. Instead of relying almost entirely on the US market, he is pushing Canada to play to its strengths and expand its economic options. The goal is simple but powerful: give Canada more choices, more partners, and more independence in a global market that is changing rapidly. Because if the US market becomes unpredictable or unreliable, Canada needs strong alternatives ready to go. And Canada happens to possess some of the very resources the modern world is racing to secure: critical minerals that power advanced batteries, rare earth elements essential for electronics, renewable energy systems, and defense technologies, and massive energy reserves capable of fueling entire industrial economies. These are not ordinary commodities anymore. They are strategic assets, and Canada has them in abundance. Analysts say these advantages are exactly what allow Canada to build strong trade relationships beyond the United States. In a world where supply chains are being reshaped and geopolitical tensions are rising, countries are searching for stable partners they can trust. Japan understands this dynamic extremely well. Its advanced manufacturing economy depends heavily on a steady flow of raw materials and secure supply chains that cannot be easily disrupted. But right now, many of those supply chains are under serious pressure. China dominates the global processing of rare earth minerals, controlling a huge portion of the world's supply. At the same time, the United States has increasingly turned inward, relying on tariffs and protectionist policies. That combination is forcing countries like Japan to rethink where they get their resources, and that is where Canada becomes incredibly valuable. Canada offers exactly what Japan is looking for: stability, transparency, democratic institutions, and enormous natural resources. It is a country known for reliability in international partnerships. That is why Japan does not see Canada as just another trading partner. It sees Canada as a long-term strategic economic ally, one that could help secure the resources and supply chains needed for the next generation of global industry.
If these partnerships move forward, they could create extremely strong economic ties. But there is a bigger strategy behind all of this. Prime Minister Mark Carney appears to be building a network of relationships across the Indo-Pacific that could eventually connect with partners in Europe. The idea is simple: create powerful trade partnerships where Canada plays a central role, but the United States is not the only dominant market. By doing that, Canada gains leverage and can no longer be easily pressured on the global stage when trade disputes arise. What we are seeing is not just a series of random diplomatic visits, it is a carefully planned strategy. Carney is building a network of economic partnerships designed to strengthen Canada's global position and reduce its dependence on any single country. During this tour, Canada has already deepened ties with India, expanded cooperation with Australia, and now secured a strategic partnership with Japan. Each agreement focuses on areas where Canada holds real global influence: energy, critical minerals, advanced technology, and defense cooperation. Together, these partnerships could become the foundation of something much larger. Many analysts believe Carney is trying to connect Indo-Pacific partnerships with European alliances to form a broad international economic network. If that vision succeeds, it could link major economies such as Canada, India, Australia, Japan, and the European Union into a powerful system of trade, investment, and innovation. And in that system, Canada would have far more freedom and negotiating power instead of relying almost entirely on the United States market.
This does not mean Canada is replacing its relationship with the United States. Instead, it means balancing it. By building stronger partnerships with other countries, Canada gains far greater negotiating power in the years ahead. In today's competitive global economy, that kind of balance can make a huge difference. Just look at what has happened in a few short weeks. Mark Carney lands in India and signs major agreements. Then he moves to Australia and strengthens cooperation on security and energy. Now he arrives in Japan and announces a strategic partnership within hours. This is diplomacy moving at full speed, and every agreement sends the same message. Canada is no longer relying on just one market or one partner. Instead, it is building a wider global network that strengthens its economic position. For Donald Trump, that creates a real challenge. The more partners Canada builds relationships with, the less effective economic pressure becomes. Tariffs and trade threats lose their impact when a country has multiple strong markets to work with, and that means Canada gains more leverage on the global stage. This latest move in Japan shows exactly how Mark Carney is responding to the changing global landscape. Instead of reacting to pressure, he is expanding Canada's options by building strong partnerships across the Indo-Pacific and beyond. From India to Australia and now Japan, these agreements are opening new opportunities while strengthening Canada's position in global trade. If you want clear and in-depth analysis of how these developments are reshaping Canada's role in the world, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next report. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think Canada's growing partnerships across the Indo-Pacific will give it real leverage against Donald Trump's trade pressure? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.